presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Black. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Well, the Tigers are very familiar with Freddie Garcia. Detroit has had plenty of home run success against the White Sox right-hander. Perhaps the perfect recipe to jumpstart a Tigers offense in need of a spark. It is an absolutely perfect day for baseball here in the Motor City as we welcome you to Comerica Park. Fourth and final game in this series featuring the White Sox and the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us here this afternoon. Tigers hoping for a split in the series with a victory here today. But one thing is for certain, Ron, if the Tigers are to start winning some ball games, they've got to get the offense going. Since the All-Star break, they have really struggled with the bats.
Well, they just need some guys to step up, and it really can't be one guy trying to do it all, which it feels like Cabrera's trying to do at times. But they need everybody to kind of step up and kind of handle their roles. They've got a lot of guys that are playing in the big leagues that probably should be in the minor leagues, but that's not the case here. They just need to go out and get it done. The numbers aren't pretty. They just rank towards the latter third in a lot of offensive categories, but some guys have to step up and produce.
All right, one guy that has stepped up is on the mound today, Max Scherzer, especially here at Comerica Park. This guy's been lights out at home.
Well, since he came back from the minors a couple of months ago, this guy came back with a lot of mound presence. He came back with a lot of confidence. He came back with a lot of swagger. His last three, you can see he's been very, very stingy. And one of the reasons why he's been so stingy, the fastball's been explosive. He's gotten to his breaking ball and changeup a lot earlier, and he's not working behind in the count all the time. If Max is able to do that today against a real hot and good and confident Chicago White Sox team, he can post those same types of numbers which the team desperately needs.
All right, starting lineup just moments away. So is the first pitch. In the meantime, we go back to the Call Sam studios now. And with more in our coverage today, here's Mickey York. Get a free small order of curly fries. Here's the starting lineup today for Ozzie Guillen's Chicago White Sox. It is presented by Honda Bluefield, and it features Juan Pierre in left field, followed by Omar Vizquel at third base. Alex Rios playing center field. Paul Konerko will DH today. It'll be Carlos Quentin in right field. Mark Kotsay is at first base. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop. Castro catching, and Gordon Beckham is batting ninth and playing second base. The scouting report on Max Scherzer is presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
Well, he's been outstanding here at Comerica Park. As a matter of fact, his last 6 starts, he's won all 6 of those starts, and the earned run average at 1.33. And if your Max White change a thing, he's been awesome here. But 5 days ago, he was very good in hostile environments in Boston. Didn't get the win in that game, but pitched well enough to get the W.
All right, so the Tigers trying to get a victory here today to earn the split in this series. You look at the season numbers on Max Scherzer.
And Max had a real nice April. He kind of struggled in the month of May. He was sent down to the minor leagues for a couple of starts, and he's come back, and he has made the transition rather smoothly from the senior circuit here to the junior circuit, which would be the American League.
First pitch of the ball game to Juan Pierre, who leads it off for Chicago. It'll be Pierre, Vizquel, and Rios. Glad to have you with us on a sparkling day here at the ballpark today. 84 degrees our game time temperature. Here's a base hit to left for Juan Pierre.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's always presented by Beaumont Hospital. In the outfield, you've got Kelly, you've got Jackson with 7 assists in the outfield. As a matter of fact, the Tigers outfielders have 26 combined, which leads the American League. G-Money, he's leading Max Scherzer here this afternoon. And Scherzer must keep Pierre at first base, which is going to be difficult to do.
Here's Omar Vizquel batting in the 2 slot. Runner goes right away. Throw down to second. The tag is not in time. Safe at second base is Pierre.
That is a fearless base steal. And when you know a guy is running and he takes off on the very first pitch, although it was very close, it is the 41st steal of the year for Juan Pierre, and these White Sox, they come out with a lot of aggression once again here today.
He almost missed the tag. Good call. That is the 500th career stolen base for Juan Pierre. He leads all actives in that category. Early scoring chance now. Vizquel pops up a bunt, and it'll go foul third base side. So Vizquel, who has been a terrific table setter for the White Sox, now with number 500. Crawford already 400 in his career. 0-2 on Omar Vizquel. He's batting .294, and he has knocked in 21. Omar's had a good series both defensively and with the bat. He's 4 for 8 and has walked 3 times. And there goes Pierre to third base. They got him picked, though. The throw down to third of the tag. That time it is in time.
Nice call. Nice call there by Gerald Laird. The spin move. And you come up, you disguise it like you're coming home. Juan Pierre, you can see he was already on his way toward third, and he had gone so far he couldn't stop. And it looked like he may have hurt himself a little bit with a little bit of an awkward slide once he got to the base. As a matter of fact, it looked like he twisted that left ankle as it landed.
So they get Pierre to second, but Scherzer does a nice job, and the bases are empty.
It's a nice break there for the Tigers here in the very first inning.
Vizquel fouls it back out of play. Scherzer trying to get that record to 500. He's 7-8. The 0-2. Just the second career start for Max against the Chicago White Sox, who come in with an 8-game lead over the Tigers, a game and a half up on Minnesota. That'll make it 2 balls and 2 strikes on Vizquel.
Right before interleague play, the White Sox were contemplating trading away some of their pieces to contending teams. But Kenny Williams did not do that. He held pat, and for holding pat, their team now finds himself in first place and playing some of the best baseball in the American League.
Scherzer gets his first strikeout of the ball game. 2 outs.
That has to be a difficult decision for a general manager when your team, the first 10 weeks of the year, is struggling and underachieving. Do you start to think, maybe I didn't pick the right guys, or do these guys need to step up? It was the latter. His players needed to step up.
Here's Alex Rios with 2 outs. I know Paul Konerko was saying that, look, we've got a lot of veterans on this team, and when they had turned it around, they were talking about adding some pieces offensively, and Konerko said, you know, we're the same team that struggled early but didn't panic and turn things around. And they do indeed have some guys that have been through the wars.
I think that's what a veteran-laden club will do. Been there, done that. They just need to figure it out a little bit.
Bouncing ball foul. The other thing I guess Kenny Williams had to consider was that they were nowhere near the trading deadline yet. They were nowhere near the halfway point. So they had a little bit of time. Had they been struggling that much at the deadline, it certainly probably would have been a lot different. And there's a strike called on the outer edge. And a couple of strikeouts for Max Scherzer. So we'll go to the bottom of the first inning where Jackson will lead it off for the Tigers. Tigers starting lineup today is presented by Big Boy. It has Jackson leading it off, followed by Will Rhymes and Johnny Damon. You've got Cabrera cleaning up. Brennan Bosch out in right field. Peralta, the shortstop. Your bottom 3 features Inge, who returned last night with a bang, Kelly, and then Laird. So Jackson will try and get things started now for Detroit as they face the right-hander Freddie Garcia. Austin has had a good series, 6 for 13. And the first pitch from Garcia is in for a strike. Jackson has hit safely in his last 3, a .312 batting average. And scored a couple of runs in the series. He sends a slow breaking ball to the shortstop Ramirez, who makes a nice play. And Jackson is out of there, 1 gone. Well, the Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Freddie Garcia. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
Well, Freddie's been dominant in the Motor City. As a matter of fact, he is 8-0 with a 2.80 earned run average in his last 8 starts in Detroit. He's well armed. Freddie's got 5 different pitches. He'll throw them at different speeds from different arm slots, but he will serve up a few home runs. Tigers have hit 24 home runs in their careers against Freddie, and that's the most Freddie has surrendered to any team.
Will Rhymes, who's batting with 1 out. A couple of hits in the series for Rhymes, 2 out of 9. And batting .244.
That was a nice play by the shortstop Alexi Ramirez, with Jackson running down the line. Very quick do or die kind of play, exchanging the ball from the glove to the throwing hand, and he's got a tremendous throwing arm.
Ramirez playing some outstanding defense this year.
He can play anywhere. He can play second. He can play center. He's a really good athlete.
That's line to center field, base hit.
He's a good athlete too. Will Rhymes. Who would have thunk that you would have 10 games in the win column from your number 5 start at the beginning of August? But that's exactly what Garcia has given Ozzie Guillen. Earned run average a little higher than you'd like to see it, but apparently they're scoring bunches of runs for Freddie when he's on the hill.
Now Garcia will face Johnny Damon. 1 on and 1 out. Johnny takes the ball up high.
Yeah, there was a time when Garcia came up with the Houston Astros. He was a hard thrower, mid-90s fastball. Even when he came to the big leagues in Seattle, he threw in the mid-90s. Arm injuries have caused him to really learn how to pitch. And that's exactly what he has done with an assortment of breaking balls, changeups, curveballs. He also has a split-fingered fastball. So he's one of those guys where you got to kind of pick which side of the plate you want to hit on that day and forget about the other side, or else Freddie will gobble you up all afternoon.
Runner goes, and he's popped up behind home plate. Castro will not have room. It's 2 rows deep.
Too bad Johnny Damon could not see the jump that Rhymes got from first base, because Rhymes had a tremendous jump. He had 6-7 steps under his belt before that ball even got into the hitting zone, and no doubt would have stolen a base hit.
Will had 20 swipes this year at AAA, had 20 last year as well.
But when you're left-handed, it's almost impossible to see that base runner when he's running from first base. Right-handed batters, they can see him a little easier.
Freddie Garcia is one of just 5 players remaining on the 2010 roster from their championship team in 05. High fly ball center field. A lot of room out there for Alex Rios. Let's send him way back out there, but there are 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the rest of the White Sox defensively. They pretty much lined up the same way every single day in the outfield with Pierre, Rios, and Quentin. It's Vizquel at third. You've got Ramirez with a .975 fielding percentage at short. The very talented second-year player Beckham is at second. Kotze at first. Ramon Castro is behind the dish here today. Pierzynski with the afternoon off.
Here's Miguel Cabrera with 2 outs. Cabrera looks at a strike. Up with the right hand goes Larry Vanover.
A couple of days ago, Miguel was joking with Freddie Garcia when he was taking batting practice and the White Sox were stretching. He told Freddie if he threw him a fork ball, he was going to take him deep. They are best of friends, both from Venezuela.
We're talking about Garcia being just 1 of 5 left on that roster from the 05 team. Burley, Jenks, Pierzynski, and Konerko are the other 4. And they are planning on another postseason appearance this year, courtesy of their big turnaround they had right before the All-Star break. But Garcia has certainly played a vital role in that turnaround.
They look like a postseason club right now.
That's a pretty good balance. They got some guys who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They certainly have the pitching, both in the bullpen and the rotation.
And they've got confidence, too, which plays a big part of it. And their manager doesn't lack any of that.
2-1 on Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera with 93 RBIs continues to lead the American League. He's ahead of the count here, 2-1. Now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Back on June 9th, Freddie gave up a long ball to Miguel Cabrera. It looked like it was a fastball. It was at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago.
One of 26 round trippers this year for Cabrera. And he takes a strike. Fill it now at 3-2.
Will Rhymes will be forced into running now. Some of you may be trying to wonder why he is still standing at first base, but when Cabrera's in that batter's box, you don't want to vacate first base, which would make it easier for the opposing managers to just simply walk Cabrera. So Will, up until now, has stayed at first.
And he lost in ball 4. It'll be a base on balls for Cabrera.
And it's gotten to the point where some managers, even with first base occupied, they will not pitch to Cabrera.
So here comes Brennan Bosch again with runners on base. Bosch in the series 1 for 12.
Tigers 1 for 11 with runners in scoring positions yesterday. Jackson pitched a really good game. He looked like Edwin Jackson of old, but he did leave some balls over the heart of the plate in run-producing situations, and the Tigers could not capitalize on some of the hanging breaking balls that Edwin left up in the strike zone yesterday.
Ground ball back up the middle. They had the shift on. Going to be a tough play. Try to get the force at second. Can't do it. Bosch is aboard, and everybody is safe. Well, goes an infield hit for Brendan Bosch.
Gordon Beckham is a shortstop by trade, and you can see that he's playing well over in the hole to the pull side, and he's able to get to this ball and able to get it to Ramirez, but Ramirez not able to catch it. It would have been a close play anyway, and I think Cabrera wouldn't have beaten it, but Beckham showing you some of that shortstop range he has at second base.
So a big opportunity now for Johnny Peralta. The bases are loaded here in the bottom of the first inning with 2 outs. Peralta, after that hot start in Boston in a Tigers uniform, 1 for 12 in this series. Rhymes has a single, Cabrera a walk, and Bosch an infield hit. That's driven to the air to center field. Rios under it to retire the side. So Garcia pitches out of a first inning jam. The Tigers leave him loaded. Bank strength and stability since 1849. And by Comcast, call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. Back here at Comerica Park on a really nice day. A little bit hazy today, but that's all right. Temperature in the mid-80s, and the Tigers and White Sox wrapping up this series. Sox have won 2 of the first 3. It'll be Konerko, Quentin, and Kotze here in the second, facing the right-hander Max Scherzer.
A little wind blowing out to left today, so if you're Scherzer, at least against the middle of the order guys in this White Sox uniform, you don't want them to hit the ball to left field.
Bosch on the move toward the line, and Konerko is out on 1 pitch.
That's perfect. Make them use center field and make them use right field.
Well, before that Konerko out, the Sox had gotten the leadoff man on in 7 of the last 10 innings, 6 of 9 last night. So they are kept off the base paths here in the second. Carlos Quentin will bat. Got some news on Carlos Guillen we want to pass along as well. Apparently he will join West Michigan tomorrow to begin his rehab assignment. That rehab assignment for Brandon Inge lasted all of 1 night. Always exciting times for the minor league organizations to get a big leaguer come down and serve a rehab. That always helps attendance. The 1-0. There's a strike called, 1-1.
Well, they know they're going to eat good, too, because after the game, usually the big leaguers, they bring in a really nice spread for the young kids, one that they don't usually get. Usually some steak or something really, really good. And they pay for it.
It's up the middle into center field. Quentin, that's his third hit in the series. You mean they don't get steak and shrimp in the minor leagues every night?
No, they don't. But when the big leaguers go down there, they take care of it.
Well, Guillen went on the DL the 25th with a right calf strain.
So apparently they're thinking that he might need a little bit longer time down in the minor leagues to recover than Brandon Inge did if he's going on a rehab assignment tomorrow.
Well, hopefully it won't be too long. There goes the runner. And it's shot down the left field line. This could be trouble, but it's foul. That would have gotten a run home. But instead, it's 0-1 on Kotsay. Kotsay batting just .215 this year and recently had a great line. I mean, he's had some bad luck this year. Yes, the numbers are low. But his manager, Ozzie Guillen, has said this guy has hit some hard hit balls right at some people. And he's been a great hitter his entire career. But Kotsay said, I wish I weighed 20 pounds lighter, then I'd be hitting my weight. .0-1 on Mark Kotsay.
If you're Kotsay, you like the fact that your manager continues to stick with you, even though you're a little older and you're a veteran player. There are some managers that would give up on a veteran player, but Ozzie's not one of those managers.
There's a strike on the outer edge. 0-2 on Kotsay, who is a career .281 hitter.
When they got Kotsay last year, he performed well for them off the bench, spot starts in the outfield. He'll spell Konerko at first base, and a professional hitter, and a good teammate too. Scherzer's got some good stuff today. Fastball in the mid-90s. He's got a real good slider, and his changeup is become a legitimate swing and miss pitch for him. A couple different changeups, one that fades away from the left-hander. Then he's got the one that kind of goes straight down that he tries to get strikeouts with.
Into center field. That'll drop in. Base hit for Kotsay. Turning at second and holding is Quentin. And now the White Sox have something brewing here with back-to-back singles. The third hit of the game now for Chicago. Well, in the Central, Scherzer is 0-6 with an ERA a little over 7.5, but the rest of Major League Baseball has had their troubles against Max.
Well, those Central numbers have to improve. There's no doubt about that because you play so many games within your division.
Here's Ramirez. Grounded foul, third base side. Alexi Ramirez is hitting around 300 and has been this year. The average right now is at 293. And there is a feeling that if he can hang around 300, he might have a chance of winning a Gold Glove. That's the way or the type of shortstop he's been playing this year. And his manager, Ozzie Guillen, agrees, saying that I might have won 5 or 6 Gold Gloves had I not been such a bad hitter. He didn't use the word bad. It was a little bit more detailed, but we'll stick with bad. That's driven to left center field. Pretty good but playable. And run down by Jackson. 2 gone.
When Ozzie Guillen came up, shortstops didn't have to hit all that much. That was back in an era where you had to catch the baseball first and foremost, and the big guys on the corner of the infield and the outfield, they did all the heavy lifting. And then you had an era of shortstops of Ripken and Rodriguez and Jeter and Tejada, Garcia Parra. The game has kind of gone back to the table setter kind of shortstops too.
Ozzie did win 1 Gold Glove. Felt he had a chance for a few more had he been a better offensive player.
I believe Jim Leland was a coach when he won that Gold Glove. working for Tony La Russa in Chicago.
He was. Here's Castro now with 2 outs. Ball inside to Castro.
A lot of good players in playing the shortstop position when Ozzie was coming up. Trammell, of course, was starring for the Tigers.
The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike called. 1-1 on Castro, who's catching today in place of Pierzynski. Castro's been pretty good with the bat, 375 in his last 16 games, and trying to pick up a couple of runners here. Singles by Quinton and Kotsay. Tigers stranded 3 in the bottom of the first. Here is Scherzer's 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Pretty good slider there with real good depth to Castro. Can throw that same pitch and get out of this inning. Don't make a mistake with your fastball here. He threw Kotsay a 1-2 fastball that allowed Kotsay to get to it and single into center field when he was up a couple of hitters ago. Finish him off.
Swung on and missed, and Castro is out of there. 3 strikeouts for Max Scherzer. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Against Chicago as we head now to the bottom of the second. Freddie Garcia back to the mound facing the bottom 3 in the Tigers lineup. It'll be Brandon Inge to lead it off, then Don Kelly and Gerald Laird. The Tigers got a couple of hits and a walk to load the bases in the first. Garcia wiggled out of that jam. Brandon, 269 right now, has done better work this year at home than he has on the road offensively. 325 here at Comerica Park, which was helped out by his 3-hit performance last night. Garcia slings one home and misses outside, 2-1. There are the splits on Mr. Inch, just 209 on the road this year.
Here's Brandon's night last night. He had 3 hits in the ball game. 1 was a single. He also doubled and singled again later on. So very nice start for Brandon coming back off the disabled list.
Ground ball to short and a couple of hops right at Ramirez, and Brandon is out of there, 1 gone. This game today is available in crystal clear high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, as always sponsored by Comcast.
Check that. All of Brandon's hits yesterday were singles.
Here's Don Kelly. Snapped an 0 for 16 in last night's ball game with a base hit. 2 out of 4 in the series. Garcia's 0-1 pitch. Lifted back out of play. Freddie was talking about the fact that he's had a couple of surgeries, rotator cuff, labrum, and one of the things he's started to do now is stretch a little bit more. That is pulled right at the first baseman. Katse backhands it. 2 gone. And Garcia said, I never used to stretch, not before starts, not between starts, but after the surgeries, they've told me the importance of that, and now he's become a stretching fanatic, which he thinks has really helped himself out. As he gets on in age now, he is hopefully going to be a little bit more durable down the stretch, so to speak, in the season.
When you're young, you think you're invincible. But when you start to get a little older, the body starts to ache a little bit. Ken Griffey Jr. used to be the same way. A guy that never stretched, just came out, hit bunches of home runs, and played gold glove type center field. But as he got older, he started to have lots of injuries, and Griffey kind of said the same thing. Got to take care of my body a little bit better.
Well, Garcia's 19 innings shy, or was, coming into the start, of surpassing his entire total of innings pitched the last 3 seasons. So he is really going deep this year as compared to the past couple of years. And that's something that Ozzie Guillen is very mindful of. They want to keep him healthy and keep him fresh the rest of the way. The Chief is nicknamed Freddie Garcia. 3-0 pitch. And he lost him. So Laird is aboard with a 2-out walk. Second of the game for Garcia. Didn't want to walk the number 9 hitter, but he has done just that. Not real happy is Ozzie Guillen. Laird came in batting a .189, and he gets the walk. Now the inning is still alive for Austin Jackson. Ball 1 to Jackson. Austin has 398, make it 399 at bats this year. That's more than any other rookie. So he has seen more playing time than any other American League rookie. And he has scored 63 times more than any other American League rookie. Of course, a lot of that was due to the hot first halves that Bosch had and Maglio had and Cabrera had.
He has probably been, to this date, other than Cabrera, their most consistent performer.
Here's the 1-1.
His last 33 games, he's hitting at a .331 clip. He's gotten hotter as the weather has warmed up. And, of course, defensively, he's been tremendous out there the majority of the season, even though he's made about 5 errors.
Runner goes. Standing up, Laird just cruises into second base with a steal.
We've seen a couple of guys already in this game, one on their side, that was Carlos Quentin, and also Gerald Laird, who aren't base stealers by trade, take off.
Third stolen base of the year for Laird, 3 out of 4.
One of those patented knocks to right field for Jackson would be lovely right here.
And there's ball 4. So back-to-back walks after the first 2 men were retired, and make that 3 walks now for the right-hander Garcia.
That's one thing about Freddie. I mean, Freddie will not give in to the strike zone. And when there's runners in scoring position, he doesn't mind walking you to get to the guy that he thinks that he can get out. No pitches are left over the heart of the plate, regardless of the situation.
Here's Will Rhymes. So again, the Tigers put 2 aboard. They stranded 3 in the first inning. And trying to break through here in the second. Bunted down the third base line, but foul. Something Jim Leland talked to Rhymes about just a couple of days ago. He is tried to instill into Rhymes that he has the type of speed, even with 2 outs. If you've got your corner infielders back and you can drop one down, get yourself a base hit that way.
I'm not a fan of that play, though. Runner in scoring position, you might as well drive him in with 2 outs.
He's behind here now, 0-1. Rhymes had a single in the first inning. He lines this one in the air to center. Alex Rios cruising over, and again the Tigers strand 2 more.
It's different. You see a different side of the game. Me, I can see the guys, really pressing, struggling, trying to do too much. And like when I get back here, I just want to remind them it's baseball. You don't need to put too much pressure on yourself. Have some fun. This is a fun game.
Certainly a different perspective for Brandon Inge, sitting on the sidelines and watching games on television as opposed to being involved in ball games. And that's something that Inge learned. And once he got back, trying to keep the morale up here and boost the spirits of the Tigers. Court Beckham leads it off as we go to the top of the third, in a scoreless ball game. And Scherzer gets a strike call from first base umpire Jeff Nelson.
Scherzer's got good stuff today, and the hitters on the White Sox team will tell you as much. When you start to see guys check swinging and guys swinging at breaking balls out of the dirt, that will tell you that the pitcher on the mound's got some electric stuff on that afternoon. But that is really nothing new for Scherzer. Usually his stuff is electric. Scherzer, if you watch the arm slot that he throws from, it's a low 3/4 arm slot, and if you're a right-hand batter, it looks like the ball is literally starting from behind you.
Look out, right back up the middle and into center field. Scherzer ducking out of the way of that slow roller.
But what you have to do when you do deliver the ball home to home plate, here's that arm slot that he throws from. It's a low 3/4 arm slot. It's a breaking ball that he throws up there, and the ball's hit directly back at him, but you've got to put yourself in a position to where you can field your position.
White Sox now have 4 hits. They have also not been able to cash in with some base runners. They stranded 2 in the second. Here's Pierre, who singled and stole a base back in the first inning, did not score. And he shows bunt, takes it high, 1-0.
Now this is a bunting situation for a table setter, not usually with a runner on second base and 2 outs.
And he drops one down back to the mound, sharply enough as to where they can get the force at second base. And Pierre reaches on the fielder's choice. 1 on, 1 out.
It's a nice job by Scherzer, knowing that it's a bad bunt, knowing who the base runner is at first. He grabs it, doesn't think about it, although being led by Laird telling him what to do, and he fires a strike to Peralta. And all Peralta wanted to do was get 1 out, because He knew he was not going to get 2, and they need to do a little bit better job at making sure that Juan Pierre stays at first base this time.
Omar Vizquel takes ball 1. Vizquel struck out in the first inning.
When Pierre singled to lead off the game, he was often running on the first pitch to Vizquel and stole that base safely. Of course, he knows all about Scherzer's move from their days in the National League West last year.
Vizquel seeing the lion's share of playing time at third base. Viciedo, the rookie, has also seen some time, but Ozzie Guillen just can't take Vizquel out of the lineup. He has been playing so well defensively at third base. He is a 11-time Gold Glove winner, but those came at shortstop. That's chopped foul outside of the bag at third. 1-1. In fact, when Mark Tien comes back, Ozzie Guillen has said that Tien probably will be relegated to a utility role. They're going to keep Vizquel at third base. Tien will see some time at first, at third, in the outfield, DH spot. But he does not want to move Ozzie, or Omar, I should say. Ozzie has something good going right now. Doesn't really want to tinker all that much with it.
Imperative here for Scherzer, you make sure you give Laird a chance to throw. You know at some point in time Pierre's going to run, but you give your catcher an opportunity to throw him out.
Here goes the runner. Here comes the throw. On target, in time, and Laird cuts down Juan Pierre.
It's a nice job by Scherzer. It doesn't happen without him paying attention to Pierre this time around, and Pierre probably shouldn't have gone because he didn't get a good jump. Laird has been one of the better throwing catchers in the American League since 2006, and he almost threw him out his first time in the first inning.
That is 17 runners that Laird has caught stealing this year. Now 3-1 on Vizquel. Bases empty, 2 outs. 26% for Gerald. Popped up, heading back toward the seats though, not a play. 3-2.
With all Juan Pierre's steals this year, he's been caught 14 times.
Pierre twice led the National League in stolen bases. Trying to do it again here in the American League this year as Vizquel gets a 2-out walk. And let's go back to the studio now. We check in for this game break with Mickey York. All right, Mickey, thank you. Here it is still scoreless as we play in the top of the third. Alex Rios stepping in.
They've got cats by the name of Repco and Valencia and Butera that are now getting the job done for the Minnesota Twins. Names that we really haven't heard in the past, but they're the names that have been showing up lately in the box score and doing very well for Ron Gardenhire's Twins.
Now the 0-1. Well, Leland has said all the time that it takes 25 guys to win it, and you've got to get production and contributions from your 25th man. So it has been the way that they've just played the game in Minnesota the last couple of years. All the division titles they have won. Yes, they have the big boppers in the middle, but this year they're getting contributions from everywhere. Here comes a throw down to second. It's not going to be in time on a pitch that was up and into Rios.
Well, apparently the Chicago White Sox feel like they can exploit possibly the slowness of Scherzer getting the ball to Laird, and Laird did not have a clean grip on that baseball and double pumped, and that was all Vizquel needed to get his 6th steal of the year. 1-2 on Alex Rios, a strikeout victim back in the first. To the shortstop on a short hop. Peralta with the play to retire the side. No runs, a walk, a hit, and a one-man left. For the Tigers in this one, as we go to the bottom of the third, Johnny Damon, Miguel Cabrera, Brennan Bosch facing right-hander Freddie Garcia. He spins a breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 on Damon
at 67 miles an hour.
It's whistled foul down the right field line. And for those that saw Garcia pitch when he came up, and you and I are obviously included in that group, it's just kind of really weird to see him pitch like this, but he kind of has reinvented himself.
Well, usually it's left-handers that kind of reinvent themselves and go from hard throwers to soft tossers. Frank Tanana will come to mind. Of course, a lot of people know about Frank Tanana. He pitched for the Tigers, but when he came up, he threw 98, 99 miles an hour. But with some arm injuries, you kind of have to learn how to pitch, and he did that. And Freddie Garcia has done the exact same thing.
Swing and a miss. Damon is out of there.
Hey fans, you want to be at Comerica Park tomorrow when the Tigers host the Los Angeles Angels at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans receive an island-themed floppy hat. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. And if you didn't see last night, my partner, he had it on and he looked rather nice in it.
Looked good over the headsets, didn't it?
It looked good. You kind of tilted it. You turned it to the side. You wore it about any way you could wear it.
Yep. You know, the problem with doing stuff like that is they keep that on tape, and somewhere down the line it'll come back to haunt.
No doubt.
1-1 on Cabrera.
Well, I don't know if it would haunt you or not. I mean, they may show it, but it won't haunt you.
It'll make me look goofy. Any opportunity they can get to make us look goofy? Oh, boy. See, now why would I go ahead and say this? Say, here we go.
Now watch, you're going to tilt it to the side. Tilt it up. And then tilt it to the side like the young boys.
Oh, my goodness. And it looked like they put it in X-Bone, too. Here comes a tilt.
There you go.
See, now that's an X-Mo right there. 2-2 pitch. There's a base hit for Cabrera with one out.
Well, if you're Garcia, you kind of win that battle. And if you can keep the big fella in the ballpark with a single and he's not trotting around the base paths, you're cool with that. And Freddie looks over at his best friend and gives him a smile. He knows Cabrera's not going to steal second base, although you never know today. There's been a lot of guys that have taken off from first base already this afternoon. Bosch needs to start to go back to center field and to left field the way that he was doing when he first got called up. He was driving balls to center. He was driving balls to left, hitting the balls in that direction with a lot of authority. But in the last month or so, he's become somewhat pull happy, and that's what happens when the game starts to speed up and you're a young player and you start to struggle a little bit. You just try to do too much. But you got to take a deep breath and allow the game to come back to you. Slow the game down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The game is fast enough.
Line drive right back to Garcia, and that is a bad break. Well, he hit it hard right back at him, and the Tigers are doubled up here in the third. No runs, a hit, nobody left, 3 in the books. Still no score. And by AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, we mosey on to the 4th inning here at the ballpark. Tigers and White Sox wrap up this series. No score yet. And for the Sox, it'll be Konerko leading it off against Max Scherzer, who just continues to pitch well here at home. Max, as we told you at the top of the telecast, has been really good at Comerica Park.
Yeah, don't try to throw a fastball by Konerko. You really can't do it.
1-1.
Good pitch, breaking ball in the fastball count. Konerko, excuse me, is one of the guys in this league, and I don't know much about the National League, but for this league, it's hard to throw fastballs by him in fastball counts.
1-1. Lifted in the air to right. Bosch coming over to the line. And one gone. How about some trivia, courtesy of AT&T. And today's question is, who was involved in the last trade between the White Sox and the Tigers? And it's been a while. 1989 was the last time these two teams traded.
They don't hook up too often.
Apparently not. That's amazing in itself. Here's Carlos Quentin. Quentin 1 for 1 with a single in his last at bat. We were talking about him the other night. Keeping him healthy is certainly going to be a key for them down the stretch.
If they do keep him healthy, they don't need a big bat. They've got enough big bats with him and Rios and Konerko.
They traded a minor league outfielder to Arizona to get him, and that outfielder is still in the minor leagues. Meanwhile, Quentin is just tearing up American League pitching when he is healthy. The 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Quentin. Carlos missed nearly 2 months of last year's season with plantar fasciitis.
An assortment of nagging injuries this year have kind of bothered him a bit, but not enough to keep his numbers down. He's knocked in 69. Big swing there, 2-2.
He may have won an MVP in 08 had it not been for him breaking his hand the final month of the season. That's just some easy gas right there in the fastball count, right by Carlos.
Scherzer's 2-2. Did it again. 95 on the gun, blew it right by him.
Scherzer's got some late life on his fastball, especially when he gets down to this arm slot. Look at this ball ride up in the strike zone. At 95, you can't hit it.
4 strikeouts for Max. Here's Marcotte with 2 outs. Marcotte had a base hit back in the second. The 0-1. Marcotte has been really struggling this year. We were talking about that compared to what he typically does in a big league season. And a little while back, one of his teammates actually held a bat burning ceremony to get his bat going. It was Mark Teahan who recently did it.
I saw that.
It's just, they do some amazing stuff.
When your team is playing well and winning lots of games, there's lots of smiles. You have lots of fun. This game's no fun if you're not winning.
There's strike 3 as Scherzer picks up his 5th strikeout. A 1-2-3 inning for Max. On a gorgeous day here in downtown Detroit. No score. This 1-7 hits between the two teams. Johnny Peralta starts it off, then Brandon Inge and Don Kelly in the home half of the 4th. Freddie Garcia delivers a strike to Peralta, who flied to center field back in the 1st inning. Johnny now 1 for 13 in the series. The 0-1 is outside.
Johnny came in with pretty good numbers against the White Sox this year. They've thrown him a lot of breaking balls, though. Lots of slow curve balls, breaking balls in the dirt. Got another one right there, a hanger.
Let's see if this one stays in play. Foul ground and out of play.
Let's take a look at this hanging breaking ball at about 65 miles an hour. Had Peralta out in front.
Here's the 1-2. Make it 2-2 now on Peralta. Garcia, a native of Venezuela, in fact, leads all Venezuelan-born pitchers in innings pitched and victories. In fact, he has one more win than Johan Santana. 131 career wins. The 2-2. And that speaks obviously to his longevity in this game, despite the injuries and the surgeries he's had. And among active right-handed pitchers since '99, his numbers are very good. Here's the 2-2. That's in the air, right center field. Rios is there. Wow. How about that trivia question again? Here it is. Who was involved in the last trade between the White Sox and the Tigers? And if you guessed Kenny Williams, you're right. In exchange for Eric King back in March of 1989, Kenny Williams now running the show.
He is the architect of this Chicago White Sox ball club. And he's put together a pretty good team. As a matter of fact, the last several years, they've been real competitive.
They have not been bashful about making moves the last couple of years. It's tapped right back to the mound. This will be an easy play for Garcia. Inge is out, 2 gone.
As I said earlier, Freddie is one of those guys where you got to cut the plate in half. Either look inside or look outside and kind of stay there all day long. If you're trying to cover all 17 inches of home plate, it's going to be a really long day against Garcia because he doesn't really give you anything to hit.
Here's Don Kelly. Well, Garcia 18-6 lifetime against Detroit with a 3.7 ERA.
He's about 40, 50 games over 500 in his career.
Yeah, his winning percentage very good. He just keeps slinging breaking ball after breaking ball up there. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He will continue to do so until the Tigers lay off some of them.
Out in front, 1-2.
I don't even know if he's thrown a fastball in this inning yet.
And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and an easy inning for Garcia. He strikes out his second of the ball game. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. 4 innings in the books, and we are still scoreless. Been awarded to a group headed by Nolan Ryan. They outbid Mark Cuban, I guess, didn't they?
Good for Ryan. How'd they outbid him?
I don't know. It's a good question. Valdo Jimenez, his 17th win, and Carlos Delgado's name is starting to resurface. There are a couple of teams apparently interested in him.
He's healthy again, they say. And if healthy, no doubt Delgado could help somebody.
Delgado's last game in the big leagues was May 10th of last year.
If you look around baseball, there's a lot of guys hitting 200. And I'm sure Delgado could do that.
Here's Alexi Ramirez. He leads it off in the 5th inning. Scherzer looking good here today. Has 5 strikeouts. Got him 1, 2, 3 in the 4th. Ramirez flied to center field his first time up. Last night, he had his 10-game hitting streak ended. 3-0. There's a strike call by Larry Vanover. 3-1 on Ramirez. And there's ball 4. Second walk for Scherzer. By the way, Friday afternoon, the Red Wings will officially welcome Detroit area native Mike Modano to their organization. You can watch the press conference live on the web at foxsportsdetroit.com. Coverage of the Mike Modano press conference starts tomorrow at 2 p.m. on foxsportsdetroit.com. So welcome back, Mike Modano. Culver City native, or as some say, Modano. We go with Modano. Here's Castro. He's given time at home plate. And that misses inside. Scherzer, after walking Ramirez, almost hit Castro. 1-0. Ramon, a veteran, has played in the National League much of his career. 6 years with the Florida Marlins, also with the New York Mets. Wave and a miss. 1-1. Max had thrown 54 pitches through 4 innings. Talking about how well he's done at home. He's won each of his last 6 starts at home, dating back to May 30th. A microscopic ERA in that stretch of 1.33. The 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball grounded fair right by a diving Brandon Inge down the left field line. This is going to be trouble. Ramirez coming to third. They're going to stop him there. And a double for Castro, and the White Sox in business here in the 5th.
Back-to-back off-speed pitches to Castro. The first one he swung and missed at, and the second one, Castro got one that was left up in the strike zone. It's a breaking ball. It's hanging, and he ripped it right past a diving Inge. And a nice job by Kelly to get to that ball to make sure that Alexi Ramirez didn't score. Sometimes you can get away with those hanging breaking balls, and then sometimes you just cannot.
So now it's going to be Gordon Beckham, their number 9 hitter, with a chance to give the White Sox the lead. That was the 5th Chicago hit in this game, and there's a strike from Scherzer.
And White Sox have an opportunity here of scoring a couple of runs without the benefit of a hit. Anything deep enough to the outfield will obviously score Ramirez and possibly get Castro to third base, or a simple ground ball the opposite way. On the ground will get Castro to third and Ramirez home. You don't need a base hit here.
It's 0-2. Beckham 4 hits in the series. He has a couple of RBIs.
With a runner on third base, if you throw the slider, Laird, first and foremost, you got to get over there and block it. And Scherzer, you can't be afraid to make a quality pitch down in an area where you can get the swing and miss. You don't want to hang it because you're afraid of the ball getting past your catcher.
And it will get past the catcher. To the backstop it goes, and a run will score.
Oh, well.
The thought was good. Wild pitch. Both runners move up.
It's a changeup that he just overthrew. And Laird really had no shot at keeping it in front. And that's too bad because Scherzer really pitching a good game here today.
So now Castro at third base with Ramirez scoring to make it 1-0. And a wave and a miss, and Beckham goes down. Make it 6 strikeouts for Max. Runner still at third base. Now the top of the order, Juan Pierre.
And now you have to be concerned with the squeeze play if you're Jim. Or at least in the back of your mind, you have to be thinking about a possible squeeze play. Jim was talking about anything hits in the infield, go home, because Castro doesn't run very well. It's a tough matchup right here. Juan Pierre, the toughest to strike out in the American League, always puts the ball in play.
Now the 1-0. Chopped foul down the first base line. One ball and 1 strike.
Take a look at Jeff Cox, third base coach, getting a sign from Ozzie Guillen at the same time, almost walking all the way toward home plate just to make sure Pierre gets a real good look at whatever he's putting on. One of your more animated third base coaches in the American League.
He may be the most animated third base coach.
There's the proof on how tough it is to strike out Juan.
So the White Sox get the game's first run in a wild pitch. The double by Castro set it up, and Castro right now at third. Pierre has knocked in 26 this year. He's been on base twice in this game. Ball high, 2-1. The White Sox have out-hit the Tigers today 5-3.
And Juan Pierre, as we've told you, doesn't strike out very often. He's also tough to walk, too.
Right back up the middle into center. That'll get another run in. So Pierre puts the ball in play, drives in a run, and it's 2-0 Chicago.
It looked like Max left the changeup up, and Juan Pierre just kind of laced it right back through the box. Juan has 1 stolen base today, and he's been caught twice. Once trying to steal third. Last time up, he was caught trying to steal second.
And there he goes, and it's fouled away.
He is not afraid, is he?
What a presence he has been at the top of their lineup.
He is not afraid.
Stole a base in the first, was caught trying to steal in the third, and he was off and running in the fifth.
I have that baseball package at home, and obviously I watch a lot of baseball, and I've watched quite a few of the White Sox games early in the season when they were struggling. And Pierre wasn't playing very well, and I thought they missed Scott Podsednik, who was real good for them last year. But now Pierre is playing the kind of baseball that Podsednik played for them when their team was going good. Fearless base runner, always wreaking havoc. He could bunt the baseball. He could do a lot of different things. Really good table setter. Podsednik was their best player last year, and they didn't re-sign him. He's playing in Los Angeles these days, hanging with Ben Scully.
On at third base side, and nobody's going to get it.
Oh, miscommunication.
Scherzer backed off thinking Inge was going to make that play, and Inge peeled off.
I think Inge called him off, and then Scherzer got out of the way, and Inge wasn't quite so sure he was going to get out of the way. Let's take a look at it. About right now, he calls it, so he just gets out of the way, and then Inge just kind of can't get there.
One single. 7th hit now for Chicago, and that keeps the inning going now for Alex Rios. So we're heading into their 3, 4, and 5 territory with only 1 out. Fouled back out of play, 0-1 on Rios. Alex 0 for 2 of the game. Ground out, strikeout. 286 this year with men in scoring position. Couple of home runs. He has hit 17 home runs overall this season. Rios, of course, came over on the waiver claim last August for Chicago and really struggled with his new team. Batted just 199 after he joined the White Sox, but he said earlier this year it was probably the best thing that ever happened to him.
Struggling?
No, the change of team that kind of motivated him, getting in with a contender. Double play ends the inning, so that turns out to be big for Mr. Scherzer. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. With little trouble, Tigers left him loaded in the first inning, stranded 2 more in the second, but not much going on after that. See if they can get it rolling now as Laird leads it off.
Freddie's last 8 starts in the Motor City, he is 8-0 against the Tigers with a sub-3 ERA.
He's thrown 5 pitches today under 70 miles an hour. A much different guy than when he first came up. The results seem to be pretty much the same, though. He's winning a ton of ball games. Here's the 0-2. Laird had a walk, stole a base, standing up, as a matter of fact, back in the second, but did not score. And the 1-2. On the ground, left side, diving stop Vizquel to his feet, and they got it. Well, that's the type of third base that Ozzie Guillen has said that Vizquel is playing.
It's our Lincoln Mercury Exmo replay. A couple of steps and a dive, and he is still very quick to get to his feet, although we're showing it to you in slow motion. And that's how he has won so many Gold Gloves at that shortstop position.
Here is Austin Jackson. I guess you can see why Guillen, when Tien comes back, does not want to move Vizquel. As long as Omar can still go out there and play as many games as they want him to. He's drilled high in the air to left center. Pierre gets over there, 2 gone.
Well, you can understand Ozzie's logic. How do you look at your team and take Vizquel out of the lineup when he has provided so much for your ball club? Veteran presence. He has really helped Alexi Ramirez out at that shortstop position with his positioning when certain guys come to the plate, he kind of tells the shortstop Ramirez, move this way, move that way, come this way. It's nothing like having a manager on the field.
Here's Will Rhymes. Rhymes is 1 for 2.
Vizquel was very instrumental in helping the youngster Elvis Andrus in Texas last year make that transition to the big leagues.
And boy, has he turned into a dynamite player.
All-star this year. And he'll give Alexi a run for his money as far as the Gold Glove is concerned in the American League. Have to think about it, but I can't think of any other shortstops that are really having great years in the American League. Jeter, of course, is always up there, but offensively, Jeter not performing all that well this year.
Rhymes bouncing it to second, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Garcia. Let's go to the 6th.
Through 11th, and enjoy weekday value pack, 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 soft drinks, 4 bags of chips for only $55. Call 866-66-TIGER, or you can log on to tigers.com.
There's Paul Konerko to lead it off for Chicago as we go to the 6th inning. It is 2-0 in favor of the White Sox.
He has done a nice job so far with Konerko. He has gotten him to fly out harmlessly to right field on both of his plate appearances, which is what you want to get him to do in this ballpark when the wind's blowing out to left. And it's blowing out to left at a pretty crisp pace.
It sure is.
Anything up in the jet streams up there, and it will fly out of here today. Ball already flies well in Comerica Park during the daylight.
Konerko, a couple of fly ball outs, 0 for 2. Made his 4th All-Star team this year. Scherzer giving up 2 runs in the 5th. One came in on a wild pitch. Driven to right center field. This looks like trouble, and it is. It's down. Konerko takes the turn, but he's going to hold as Jackson quickly fires it back in.
It's what a smart hitter will do. And Konerko is a smart hitter. He's hitting over 300 with plenty of power. He knew that Scherzer was not going to give him anything inside to do any real damage, so he takes a fastball away and gets a single into right field. Not even a full swing there by Konerko. Kind of just lobbed it in the right center. Smart hitter, though.
And Konerko has his 6th hit in this series.
It's a double play combination right here, though. Keep it down, get your ground ball, get your double play.
Carlos Quentin, single and a strikeout. He's been hit 14 times this year.
He stands right on top of the plate. His hands are over the plate.
2-0. That one just missed.
It's kind of enticing if you're a pitcher that you want to come inside with a fastball, but you better get it inside.
Looked pretty good. Two and one.
Well, he blew him away with a fastball his last time up. He needs a couple more to get through him, but apparently he's having a difficult time of catching up to the Scherzer fastball today. Don't hang that breaking ball, whatever you do.
To center field for Jackson. Still going back. And Konerko tagging, but he will not move up. One out.
Let's take a look at how Scherzer attacked Carlos Quentin. First pitch, hanging breaking ball at the top of the strike zone. Then he comes back with a very close pitch and throws a fastball by him and comes back with another piece of cheese that he doesn't quite get on the barrel of the bat, and it lands harmlessly in Austin Jackson's glove. That's our Bill Tire pitch by pitch.
Here's Kotsay with one out. Single strikeout for Mark Kotsay. And Scherzer threads the needle with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. One ball and one strike. Mark Kotsay, well-traveled veteran. Former #1 pick of the Florida Marlins way back in the late 90s. 97 was his first year in the major leagues. Kotsay, one of those guys that didn't spend much time in the minors. In fact, he played in just 156 minor league games.
He was ready to play in the big leagues when he left the campus of Cal State Fullerton. That's how well-rounded a player he was in college.
Golden Spikes Award winner back in '96. College's best player. College baseball's best player. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Isn't he like on some of the all-time team as far as the College World Series is concerned?
Yeah, they came up with their all-time College World Series team, and he made that club.
Yeah.
Wave and a miss. Scherzer strikes him out. That's 7 punch-outs for Max. Back to the studio we go. Game break time, and here's Mickey York. That's a wild one there.
They played 13 innings last night.
Oh, 1 on Ramirez. Long night last night. They've got a wild one going today. Alexi with a walk and a fly ball. He has scored a run. And he fouls that one back out of play. 0-2. Eight hits today for the White Sox. The Tigers have been limited to just 3 hits by Freddie Garcia. Runner bluffing, and there he goes. They're going to throw him out at second base. Konerko just couldn't decide when to go. Stutter, stutter, stutter. He finally went, and he was nailed by Laird.
This is funny.
Something out of the Three Stooges right there.
At the bottom of the strike zone and singled into left field. The next batter, Brennan Bosch, hit one right off the end of the bat. Freddie catches it. Cabrera came off the bag too far and was doubled up. Coors Light Freeze Cam, always brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Lights.
Well, the Tigers are down 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Freddie Garcia with a 9-pitch fifth. Not thrown 20 pitches in an inning yet.
When is the last time he's thrown a fastball? I'm trying to wonder.
I don't know.
It's been a while.
Damon Cabrera, Bosch, here in the 6th inning.
Lifted in the air to center field. Looks like the Tigers have just had some frustrating at-bats today.
Well, Freddie's gotten quite a few guys to do just that. Fly balls to straightaway center field.
He's retired 8 straight. 1 out now for Cabrera.
There's a fastball.
8-6. He reached back for that one.
He's got a lot in his tank.
That's for sure.
1-1.
Apparently Cabrera is sitting on something off speed. Therefore, 3 straight fastballs to Cabrera. That's one thing pitchers, catchers, they can watch a hitter and they can kind of tell what you're looking for. Four straight fastballs. He knows Cabrera's looking for something soft. There it was.
3-2.
The good pitchers, when they throw the ball toward home plate, they kind of watch the reaction of swings that are being taken against them. And that kind of tells them what the hitter's thinking.
And Cabrera would not bite, and that is 4 walks. Freddie Garcia.
2 of which to Cabrera. So they're not going to let Cabrera beat him today. Somebody else is going to have to do that.
Might as well be Bosch. Brennan comes up there 1 for 2. Lined into a double play in his last at bat.
He's hit a couple of balls right up the middle. You know, they're playing him to the pull side in the infield. I mean, they're really overplaying him up the middle. Alexi Ramirez is almost directly behind second base.
Grounded foul outside of the bag at first. Jeff Nelson right there to make that call.
Usually the home plate umpire makes that call before it crosses the first base bag, but it was an emphatic call by Jeff Nelson, not Larry Vanover. This ball is in front of the third base bag. First base bag, excuse me. And that play usually is called by the home plate umpire. It's the first base umpire's call once it passes the first base bag.
Here's the 0-1. In the air toward left field. Pierre going a long way, and he'll make the catch and hold on. He bobbled it momentarily and held on to the baseball.
Ooh, that would have been nice. That would have been at least second and third. A long, long run by Juan Pierre. They're already playing him to the pull field. Now look how long he has to run. The ball goes in his glove, bounces out, and he's still able to make the play. Cabrera was already on second base and had to retreat back to the bag. Almost a break there for the Tigers. Who can't catch any breaks right now?
Exactly. There has been a series in which the Tigers have gotten very few breaks, if any.
Here's Peralta with 2 outs. Strike 1. Johnny in this one is 0 for 2 with a couple of flies to center.
Johnny spelled J-H-O-N-N-Y.
That's drilled to center field, base hit. And Cabrera gets to second base, so the Tigers have the tying runs on.
going to bring up Brandon Inge.
Well, one of the hardest things to do is to just go up there and know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're going to get something that's off speed to hit and just kind of sitting there and waiting for it until you get it. But if Brandon is able to do so, he'll improve on those numbers with runners in a scoring position, which aren't very good in this series.
176. Tigers last night were 1 for 11. They stranded 11 men. And it got off on the same foot here today when the Tigers loaded the bases in the first, but left all three.
Well, if you're the Tigers, it's pretty much about the time where you need to make it happen if you're going to make it happen against Freddie. Because Ozzie Guillen's back into his bullpen is one of the best in this league right now. They're healthy, they throw hard, and they're having a lot of success.
In the air to center. Should get him out of the inning, and Rios hauls it in. But the big play in this inning, Juan Pierre running it down and left. Game text Zoom to 37338 to enter to win a party in a Comerica Park suite. It is brought to you by Mazda. Zoom to 37338. If Valverde gets in this game and records a save, Tigers going to have to come back. They are down 2-0 as we go to the top of the 7th. On a glorious day for baseball here in Detroit. Tigers have only 4 hits though. Scherzer back to the hill. 7, 8, 9 coming up, and Ramirez hammers one in the air to center field. The left fielder Kelly coming over right in front of Austin Jackson to make the catch. One gone for Castro, the catcher. He doubled to set up a rally in the 5th inning, the inning in which the White Sox got their 2 runs. Ball 1 to Castro.
You don't want to help Castro out by throwing him breaking balls. You can throw your fastball by him at 94 miles an hour.
Castro caught Mark Burley's perfect game last year over Tampa. In fact, it was the first time that Castro had ever caught Mark Burley. The first time those two had worked together, and it came in a perfect game situation.
And Burley threw every pitch of the sign that Castro put down. Did not shake him off one time. That's the most amazing part of that for me. The guy that's never caught you before You trust that much that every single sign he puts down, you throw that pitch. That's what Mark Buehrle does, though.
Here's the 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Castro. Probably part of the reason why Buehrle works so quickly. His games usually last 2.5 hours. Gets it, gets the sign, and throws it.
You gotta trust your catchers, though, man. That's trust.
That's true. That's line to right field. Right at Bach. 2 gone.
Hey fans, you want to follow the Tigers? You can do as much on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, Android phones with MLB.com at Bat 2010, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit Tigers.com today for more details.
Here's Gordon Beckham. A single and a strikeout for Beckham.
How big was your first cell phone? Do you have one of them real big ones? Seriously.
Let me think. Yeah, it was huge, and it had one of those antennas that you had to pull out for like a mile and a half.
I'm telling you, man.
These were horrible.
How about that? We were carrying them things around like we were a big deal, too.
And those antennas were so long they kind of like flop as you walked. I mean, it was bad.
I'm telling you. I had one of those, too.
Did you?
Yeah, big one.
Technology, man.
Thick one. Couldn't even put it in your pocket.
It's fouled back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Technology. And that wasn't that long ago.
No.
Wasn't that long ago.
No. It was like the mid-90s.
Yep.
Late 90s. Big old phones.
Then everybody got cool and had the little pagers where somebody paged you. Okay, let me call you back.
I don't think pagers are probably as prevalent as typewriters now.
Yeah.
2-2. Scherzer with the 2-2 pitch. And it's fouled away.
Scherzer with no margin for error today. None. A base hit by Juan Pierre, drove in 1-1. He gave to them with a wild pitch on an 0-2 pitch to Gordon Beckham, I believe, was up.
It was. That's rolled left side right at Brandon Inge. And Beckham is out. Scherzer with a 1-2-3 inning. He has really pitched well today, but the offense needs to get going. Feeling yours is going to be at the other end.
Think so?
Yeah. Come on. There it is. Hey, anyway, the Comerica game summary. Juan Pierre, 2 for 3, 500th career stolen base. Garcia has pitched well, and the Tigers just continue to struggle with men in scoring position. And Freddie back at the hill facing Kelly, Laird, and Jackson. First pitch breaking ball is in for strike 1. At 69 miles an hour.
Freddie's pitch count is in real good shape, and we know he's not tired. because he hadn't been exerting a whole lot of energy out there today. He's pitching well. He's keeping the Tigers off balance. So you got to give him some credit. There's no debate about that. And Freddie's numbers kind of speak for themselves. He's about 45 games over 500 in his big league career. So he knows how to pitch.
Kelly is 0 for 2. That'll go foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Don. Kelly in the series 2 for 6. White Sox trying to win 3 out of 4 in this series.
Oh, this is a critical series for the Tigers. When the White Sox came to town a few days ago, they needed to win at least 3 of the 4.
Well, if they can come back today, they would be 7 out. Minnesota has 1. They defeated Tampa with a couple of runs in the 9th inning. The thing that makes it difficult is that there are 2 teams now the Tigers are chasing. High fly ball hit well to right field, way back to the wall. That ball's going to carry out. It's gone. Don Kelly hits his 2nd of the season, and the Tigers are on the board.
DK got a split-fingered fastball at the top of the strike zone at about 78 miles an hour and caught it out in front and caught it just right, and it carried out of here.
First run of the game for Detroit, and here is Gerald Blair. Second home run of the year for Kelly. April 21st was his first home run.
Well, this visit right here by Don Cooper, the pitching coach, is for no other reason than to give whoever is warming up in their bullpen time to get loose. Looks like Matt Thornton and Sergio Santos are getting hot and getting loose. They're not going to allow Freddie to lose this game. And what are you going to tell a guy that's pretty much dominated the opposition all afternoon and made one bad pitch? But you got to give Kelly some credit. But that's to give the bullpen guys extra time to get ready, because if one more person gets on, Ozzie Guillen will go get Freddie. Freddie's done his job today.
Here's Gerald Blair. A walk, a steal, and a ground out.
Cooper and Freddie were out there having a nice laugh. I wonder if Coop went out there and told him a joke. That's what some pitching coaches will do.
One ball, one strike. Now 1-2 on Gerald. It'll be Austin Jackson next.
Nice crowd here today, though. Thursday afternoon, this place is almost full.
Tigers this year averaging a little over 30,000 a game at home.
They got great fans. They got great fans. Some of the best fans in the country. They're not happy right now. Can't blame them, but they still come out and support, which in the grand scheme of things is all you can ask for.
2-2 on Laird. Well, the home run by Kelly at least gave them something to buzz about a little bit. Can they keep it going now? And Garcia's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss.
It's too big a swing there by Laird. I mean, you know Freddie's really not going to give you a whole lot to hit. For you to take that big a swing with 2 strikes is not good. Hey fans, as soon as the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live. You'll hear from the manager, Jim Leland, and the players. Plus, we'll break down the game and show you all the highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Austin Jackson cuts and misses. For 2 for Jackson. He has a walk. There have been 4 walks today from Garcia. 2-2. Garcia bearing down on 100 pitches. He's a couple of shy of that plateau today. Working quickly with the 0-2. Rolled foul. And this will be number 100 coming up for Garcia. Just missed the outside corner. In his last 9 starts as a visitor here at Comerica, Garcia 8-0, and he has pitched that type of baseball here again today. Lifted back out of play. 1-2 on Austin Jackson. Will Rhymes will be next. Two and two.
More importantly, what Freddie has been able to do today is prevent the Tigers' right-handed batters from pulling the baseball. For the most part, he has made all of his pitches down and away at different speeds, and he has been successful.
It's another strikeout, his 4th of this game. And that's going to be it for Garcia. Rhymes due up, and Isaac Guillen coming out. So we're going to get a pitching change here. Freddie gives up the home run to Don Kelly to start this inning. Comes back with a couple of strikeouts. Ball side windows pitching changes. They go to their bullpen. We'll step aside.
Win of the year for the White Sox. Pretty much everything located very well against all the right-handers on the latter third of the plate. He kept guys off balance. He helped himself out with a double play there, snaring the line drive off the bat of Brendan Bosch. But pretty much all day, Freddie breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball, and he was successful.
So he will give way to Matt Thornton, who comes out of their bullpen, and the Tigers, meanwhile, dip into their bench.
One guy leaves throwing 67 miles an hour, and then the big left-hander comes in throwing 97 miles an hour. 55 strikeouts in 41 in the 3rd innings this year for Matt Thornton. He was an all-star as well.
Ryan Rayburn pinch hitting. And he will bat for Will Rhymes. 7 pitches under 70 miles an hour today for Freddie Garcia. Just bobbing and weaving through his start today against the Tigers. The 0-1. Make it 0-2 on Rayburn.
The ball comes out of Thornton's hand. Nice and easy. Real nice, easy delivery. And then the ball just explodes in the strike zone at 96 to 98 miles an hour.
Rayburn this year 0 for 10 as a pinch hitter.
Pinch hitting is not an easy thing to do.
Wow. 97 that just missed the outside black.
They got 3 closers in their bullpen with Thornton, J.J. Putz, and Big Bobby Jenks. They can close the game out in the 7th.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball to short. Alexi Ramirez has it. And the inning is over, but the Tigers finally get on the board. They do so on the leadoff home run by Don Kelly. It's now 2-1. Find your location. Visit turntospartan.com. Close one today as we wrap up this series. The Tigers now down by a run, courtesy of the Kelly home run. And we've got some changes for Detroit as we head now to the top of the 8th inning. Ryan Rayburn will stay in the game. He'll play second base in place of Rhymes. And the Tigers also have a new pitcher on now. So Scherzer is done for the day, and Phil Koch will take over.
Phil Koch needed some work, and Jose Valverde also needs some work in that Tigers bullpen. Koch hasn't pitched since last Saturday in Boston.
We will deal with the top of the order as we scope out his numbers. 52nd appearance for Phil Koch.
Good work today for Max Scherzer. Gave up 8 hits, just 2 runs.
Here's Juan Pierre.
Talked about Juan Pierre. He's one of those guys on the infield where he causes you to play in a different area where you're not accustomed to playing. You got Brandon Inge about 5 steps in front of that bag at third. You also have your shortstop and your second baseman basically playing at halfway depth in the infield because of the speed that Juan Pierre has. And that's why he gets so many infield singles, 2 steps to the left and the right of any of these gentlemen, and the ball squirts through the infield.
He's had 28 infield hits this year. That's line and caught. 1 gone.
Well, he's been their table setter. This was his 500th steal of his career. But then he got caught trying to steal third base, and then he comes up again with a runner on third, less than 2 outs, and a nice running catch, taking away a double from Bryn Bosch. So Juan Pierre's been everywhere today.
Fouled out a play by Vizquel. Both Scherzer And Garcia each threw 103 pitches. Now the 0-1 pitch. Omar's been on base twice, bunt single, walk, stolen base. Here's the 1-1. Two and two now on Omar Vizquel. $2,758 career hits for Vizquel. To go with his truckload of gold gloves. It's outside, run it full now, 3-2 on Vizquel. Tigers had the Angels coming in next. They'll be here tomorrow. Verlander and Weaver in game one. That ought to be a good one. 3-2 pitch. Justin tomorrow will be searching for his 13th win.
Usually pretty good after a Tigers loss too, but let's hope that's not the case tomorrow.
Swing and a miss. Cope disposes of Vizquel. 2 outs. Phil's first strikeout.
Hey fans, spend your Sunday at Comerica Park when the Tigers host the Angels at 105. All kids 14 and under receive an inside-out rally cap. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. We need those rally caps today.
There you go. So now when you come to the ballpark and you look for a rally cap, you don't have to spin your hat inside out. Rios cuts and misses. Cope trying to keep this a 1-run game. The Tigers in the bottom of the 8th will have Damon, Cabrera, and Bosch. Oh, 0-2.
Rios wasn't close to either of those first 2 pitches by Phil Cope.
Or that one. 3 pitches and he struck him out. A couple of strikeouts for Cope. Down by a run, 2-1 is our score. They will have 3, 4, and 5 due up here against Thornton. And he will face Johnny Damon. Damon leads it off and looks at a strike. Thornton came on to get the pinch hitter Rayburn, and now he faces the lefty Johnny Damon, who's 0 for 3.
Thornton, a Michigan kid, isn't he?
He is indeed. At the Grand Valley State. In fact, he played basketball and baseball for the Lakers on scholarship there for both sports.
Well, scholarships are a nice thing,
aren't they, though? He was born in Three Rivers, Michigan.
Keep them out of mom and dad's pockets.
It always helps. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thornton's 2-2 pitch. And now 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And it's fouled away. I think Thornton is facing just Damon here. This going to be his only batter, do you think?
Yeah, I would think so.
We've got J.J. Putz warming up. Cabrera's on deck. And he walked him.
Putz, he pitched last night. He was wild. Couldn't find the strike zone.
Guillen hasn't made his way out yet.
He ain't going. I guess he figures Thornton's my all-star. He's my closer.
Got the lefty Bosch on deck as well.
Cabby 1 for 4 in his career against Thornton. We have seen Cabby hit some of the best pitchers in the league. Some of the best closers in the league. And although Thornton, not a closer in Chicago, he's got closer stuff.
Ball high, 2-0.
7th inning or later, .672 slugging percentage, which is 2nd in the American League. This season close and late, .389.
He missed again. 3 balls and no strikes.
He doesn't want to throw him a strike.
He was swinging 3-0, and Cabrera let it all hang out.
Well, he knows that Brendan Bosch is in that on-deck circle, and that lefty-lefty matchup will be a tough matchup. So that's what your big boys do. When you get a chance to let it all hang out, you let it hang out. That might have been ball 4, but he still got 2 big strikes left.
And ball 4, and so a pair of walks from Thornton.
That was the 3rd walk of the day for Cabrera. They don't want anything to do with him.
That's going to bring up Brendan Bosch, who has some history with Thornton.
Thornton has only given up 1 home run this year. Just 1. Ask and you shall receive. Here it is. Brendan Bosch took it deep at U.S. Cellular Field in June. He doesn't need a big fly now. Just a base hit will do. I'm kind of surprised that Rios in center field, as hard as Thornton is throwing, he is still playing Brendan Bosch to pull. There's tons of room in that direction should Brendan be late on a fastball.
0-1. White Sox pitching today has walked 6 Tigers.
White Sox are playing good baseball for the last couple of days. I mean, a little luck, too.
Yeah, they've been living large the last couple of days. Tigers stranded 11 yesterday against Edwin Jackson. Bosch had a rip, fouled it away, and now it's 0-2.
When you watch a guy like Thornton miss on 5 straight pitches to Cabrera to put the tying run in scoring position, that just kind of gives you an idea of how good Cabrera is and how dangerous he is. Because he comes right back and throws 2 straight fastballs right down the middle here to Brennan Bosch. He wanted nothing to do with Cabrera.
Swing and a miss, and Brennan chased. Down he goes. So Thornton gets him this time. Here comes Guillen. That is the first out of the inning, and with Peralta due up, J.J. Putz is good to go in their bullpen. That was the elevated pitch that was way out of the strike zone, and Bosch chased it. So another pitching change. Back to the bullpen we go, and we'll be back. Player's uniform number to 37338. That's FSDET. You see the final results postgame during Tigers Live. Well, the Tigers have 2 men on. In front of a big crowd here this afternoon, just aching to scream about something better than 34,000 as J.J. Putz takes over.
J.J. struggled with his command in last night's game, but overall he's got real good numbers, 5-2 with an earned run average that is sub 2. 45 strikeouts in 39 and 2/3 innings against 8 walks. So he's been good, but overall their bullpen has been tremendous late in games.
So here is Johnny Peralta. Johnny 1 for 3 today, singled in the 6th inning. Base hit here would do the trick. Ball 1 from Putz. Johnny 265 with runners in scoring position. Only Tigers run so far, the home run by Don Kelly to lead off the 7th. That's a one-hopper knocked down by Ramirez. Fires to second, one, and a double play.
Lexi, stop it, please.
A bullet hit by Peralta, a wicked hop, and Alexi Ramirez turns a spectacular 6-4-3.
If the Tigers didn't have bad luck, they wouldn't have no luck at all. Mayer is off the bat of Johnny Peralta. It's a bullet that he somehow knocks down. He grabs it, gets to Beckham, and then they're still able to turn it over, but it's even prettier in slow motion. He about undressed the slender Alexi Ramirez, but he didn't panic. He got it to his second baseman, and Beckham was able to finish the play. Cabrera couldn't get close enough to take him out.
And that's why they're talking about his play this year in Gold Glove terms. He has played that kind of shortstop. A huge, huge play. Konerko, little pop up in a shallow right, going to drop.
He was taking what the Tigers have given him today. Okay, you don't want to come inside, so I'll just take a couple of base hits to right field here.
Robbie Weinhardt is the new pitcher out of the bullpen. Carlos Quinton, the batter. That's the 9th hit today for Chicago. Littlebridge pinch running at first base.
Still a real close game. Well, after Konerko's base running exploits his last time on base, they had to get a pinch runner in there for him.
It wasn't pretty. Nice in the air toward right. Bosch coming over, and he'll have room.
Here you go. When you do this on the base pass, your manager is going to start the pinch run for you. No, just kidding, but look at Paul Konerko. Going, stopping, going. Okay, now I really have to go. And, of course, G Money was able to gun him at second.
That happened back in the 6th. Here's Mark Kotsay with one out. Weinhardt trying to keep this a one-run game. Inge, Kelly, Laird due up in the 9th. Scherzer pitched really well today, giving up 2 runs in 7 innings of work. Koch came on for a 1-2 3/8. And now Weinhardt's here in the 9th. Kotsay in this one is 1 for 3, has struck out his last 2 times. Swing and a drive. Way back into right field, and that ball is going to get out of here. It's gone. A long, long home run for Mark Kotsay, his 7th of the year, and the White Sox get some big-time insurance.
It appeared that Robbie Weinhardt was thinking about the base runner, Littlebridge, on first, and trying to make sure he didn't steal the base, and he threw a sinker ball that didn't sink.
Kotsay did not miss that one.
It's the first home run that Weinhardt has given up in the big leagues.
And it went 400 feet, the official distance.
Oh, it was drilled.
0-2 on Alexi Ramirez. The 10th hit of the game for Chicago makes it a 4-1 contest. Here's the 1-2.
Well, if the White Sox are going to finish off and do what they hope to do, and that's to get to the postseason, then they've got to pick up their numbers against the Central and against the American League in general, because they really did a lot of good work against the National League and interleague play. They were 15-3. But they are playing with a lot of confidence right now. And they're healthy. That's a big part of it.
Swing and a miss. Ramirez Out of there. 2 gone. First strikeout today for Weinhardt. It's going to bring up Castro.
And the White Sox go to Baltimore from here. So I don't know how Buck Showalter's got them playing these days, but Baltimore's in last place.
Although Baltimore's beaten the Angels the last 2 nights. It's a breaking ball strike on Castro.
Baltimore is going to have, for the first time in the history of the game, 3 different managers manage 50 or more games in a year. Dave Tremblay, he started the year, he managed over 50 games. Juan Samuel was the interim manager. He managed at least 50 games. And with more than 50 games remaining, Buck Showalter will be the 3rd of that trio.
I guess they didn't realize that Samuel was at the helm for 50.
I think his record was 17-34.
There you go. 0-2. Castro had a big double earlier in this game. It's fouled straight back.
I think Buck Showalter is probably the right man for that job, though. He's good at rebuilding and molding good young talent.
Weinhardt thought he had him struck out. Well, it's going to be a challenge, there's no question, but the one thing they do have going for them is I still say some of the better young pieces in the game, although the young pitching they've had hasn't been as good as they thought it would be.
One thing Buck will do, though, he will weed out some of that young talent if he feels like they're not playing up to their ability or if they're not on board with what he's doing. He's not afraid to ruffle some feathers.
And the 2-2. Line drive caught on a dive by Rayburn.
Ooh, that's not the last time we'll see that play today.
Dandy play by Ryan Rayburn. Smoked off the bat of Ramon Castro. We go to the bottom of the 9th.
Hard blast courtesy of Don Kelly his last time up. It was one of the few mistakes that Freddie made up in the strike zone. That would be Freddie Garcia, who started for the White Sox. And he's looking for his 11th win of the year. Nice swing by Don Kelly, hitting his 2nd home run of the year. He is due up 2nd here in the bottom half of the 9th inning.
We got some changes. Andrew Jones will come on now and play right field. And as expected, the White Sox have gone to bring in their closer now, Bobby Jenks.
It's a nice luxury to have when you have the back end of your bullpen that's really healthy and all 3 have really good arms. Bobby's blown 2 saves this year. He has 23 of them. His earned run average is high, though, but he is still striking out quite a few.
So the Tigers now down 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. And the White Sox trying to take 3 out of 4 from Detroit. Jenks ready to go to work. Brandon Inge will start things off.
And way back when, Bobby Jenks was property of the Los Angeles Angels. White Sox signed him. He was in Double-A, pitching well. Came up in that 2005 season when they won the World Series, and he stabilized their bullpen that year. And he hasn't looked back since that day. They had already used quite a few closers before Bobby Jenks came on the scene in 05. He was a difference maker.
Didn't go around there.
And he has had a lot of success against Detroit since 05.
One ball and 2 strikes. So they have gone to their major pieces in the back end of their bullpen today. Thornton and Putz, and now Jenks.
Keep in mind, they pretty much pitched around Cabrera all day. They walked him 3 times. And that's pretty much the kind of treatment Cabrera is going to get the remainder of the way. Game on the line, he doesn't get a chance to hit. And they don't mind putting the winning run or tying run in scoring position to stay away from him.
One and 2. Inge, Kelly, Laird here in the bottom of the 9th. Need some base runners. And the 1-2. I don't think he went. He did not. Jeff Nelson. 2-2 the count. Time it looked like he did go. No, he didn't. Nelson again says he did not go. 3-2. Jenks ready with the full count pitch. And here it is. Swing and a miss. So Inge 0 for 4 today. First strikeout for Jenks. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow when the Tigers will be hosting the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in the opening game of a 3-game series. Tigers Live begins at 6:30. Jared Weaver, Justin Verlander will hook up in Game 1 tomorrow.
A couple of strikeout artists in the American League. And also a couple of guys that made the All-Star team this year, which was played in Los Angeles, or Anaheim, I should say.
1 strike on Kelly. That's back up the middle into center. But Kelly has his second hit.
Angels playing a night game in Baltimore tonight, which means they will not get into the Motor City until the wee hours of the night.
Yeah, night games on travel days, nobody likes those at all.
But you can understand why teams like Baltimore and some of the other teams that don't draw very well do that, because if they'd simply played a getaway day game, they wouldn't get nearly the kind of fan support that they desperately need because they have a bad club.
The thing on the flip side of that is the Angels can't complain because they do not give opposing teams day games on getaway days in the week.
That's probably why they get a little bit of that treatment.
Santiago pinch hitting for Gerald Laird.
Well, they sent us into Texas, what, about 3, 4 in the morning one night?
It was. And the birds were chirping and the sun was coming up. We got to the hotel.
I went straight to the gym.
Did not. 1 ball, 1 strike on Santiago.
10 toes up.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the 1-1 from Jenks. 1-2.
Change piece. There it is. Circle change. Changeup is a really good pitch in the big leagues. If you can throw one and throw it with confidence and not slow your arm speed down.
Ooh, that one hit Santiago. That's going to put 2 aboard. So it's getting interesting now here in the 9th inning.
Well, he went to a changeup on the previous pitch, and then he comes back in. Looks like he's got a little bit of a knuckle curve if you look at the index finger. Spike curveball. Ooh, right on the knee.
So the tying run coming to the plate here. Austin Jackson is 0 for 3. Jackson struck out his last at bat. The only time he reached today was a walk against Garcia back in the 2nd.
And nice time for Jackson to get one up in that jet stream blowing out to left field here today. Hit his 2nd home run in the big league season.
Swing and a miss.
You have to take that donut off there. A little tardy on that fastball.
One ball, 1 strike. Fouled away now. 1-2 on Jackson.
You got to fight for your life now for Jackson. Bobby Jenks has got a real good fastball. He's thrown a couple right by you, basically. Choke up, spread out, do whatever you need to do to make sure that you put it in play. Crouch down, do whatever you have to do. He did choke up a little bit. Ooh.
Got him. Strike 3. Jenks brings up his 2nd strikeout.
96. Is the paint dry yet on this pitch? Because he painted that outside corner. 96 at the knees.
It's going to be up to Rayburn now. Ryan pinch hit for Will Rhymes back in the 7th. And he takes ball 1 up high. Tigers today have been out hit 10-6. Their only run came in the 7th on the Kelly homer. One and one. High fly ball, left field, way back. Pierre going to the wall, and it's out of here. Gone. Ryan Rayburn has tied it up in the bottom of the 9th. A 3-run shot to make it a 4-4 game. The Tigers finally get to Bobby Jenks. He blows a save here in the 9th inning. And the crowd comes alive. Johnny Damon, the batter. Two and 0. Rolled foul down the right field line. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 7th hit of the day for the Tigers, the biggest, a 3-run shot for Ryan Rayburn. On 2-2 on Damon.
Bobby Jenks threw Rayburn an 87-mile-per-hour breaking ball, and he allowed Rayburn to get out in front of it and get it up into that jet stream, and the rest is history.
Ramirez handles this one to retire the side.
Here it is. Power fastball that he locates very well, but he goes to the breaking ball at 87, and take a look at Jenks' reaction. He knew it was gone. He knew it was gone as soon as it was hit. That's playing the elements.
So the Tigers have new life, and we go to the 10th inning. Tigers are 3-3 in extra inning games. Rayburn not only has a home run in this game, but a diving, spectacular play at second base. And now Jose Valverde comes in.
Well, he's well rested. That much is for sure. Valverde has not been on the mound since he threw 60 pitches in that game in Boston on Friday night when the Tigers held on for the only win on that road trip.
So Valverde will face Gordon Beckham to lead things off here in the 10th. Beckham, Pierre, and Vizquel.
And for whatever reason, that night Valverde threw lots and lots of fastballs, and he could not get it over the plate. That time, first pitch fastball right down the middle. And there's that line from that Friday night. 1 in the 3rd, 2 hits, 4 earned runs. He walked 5.
One ball, one strike on Gordon Beckham, who is 1 for 3 today.
The 60 pitches that Valverde threw that night were 20 more than he had ever thrown in a big league game.
Good pitch right in the outer edge. 1-2.
He's having no problem throwing that fastball today.
Valverde has been ill the past couple of days. In fact, Jim Leland sent him home yesterday. Trying to get through the 10th inning here. keep us a tie game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. Ooh, swing and a miss. Beckham tied up, and down he goes. First strikeout for Valverde. Here comes Juan Pierre. White Sox got 2 in the top of the 9th to make it a 4-1 game, and the 3-run shot in the bottom of the 9th tied it up from Rayburn. Pierre with an RBI single, one of his 2 hits in this game, as Alex Avila takes over behind the plate for Gerald Laird. Here's the 1-0. 1-1 on Juan Pierre. White Sox are without one of their big bats. Al Konerko was pinch run for back in the 9th inning. So if it gets as far as Konerko, which is the 4th spot in the lineup, he is out of the game. The 1-1 lifted to center field. Routine for Jackson. 2 gone. Popped him up right side of the infield. The second baseman Rayburn makes the catch, and we'll go to the bottom of the 10th. Miguel Cabrera will lead it off for Detroit. Four runs on 10 hits for Chicago, 4 runs, 7 hits for the Tigers. Detroit will try and win it here at the bottom of the 10th inning, and they will do it against another member of the bullpen. Sergio Santos is on now for Chicago.
Another power arm out of their bullpen. The Santos pitching in the 39th game, 1.62 earned run average, which is good for 5th in the American League. He also has better than a strikeout per inning, and the opponents are hitting 228 against him. Tigers got the right guys coming to the dish here in the bottom half of the 10th inning. It'll be Cabrera followed by Bosch and then Peralta.
Santos 1.62 ERA is 5th best among relievers in the American League.
And they pretty much pitched around Cabrera all afternoon long, but it would be risky to pitch around him this time around. They've walked him 3 times today.
Cabrera has seen him twice. He's 0 for 2 against Santos. 4-4 game, bottom of the 10th. Cabrera, Bosch, Peralta. Ball 1. Miguel in the game today has been walked 3 times. He has a single. In the series, 2 for 10. Two and 0. Jenks, when you look back at that 9th inning, hit the pinch hitter Santiago, which put 2 runners out and set up the tying run, and Rayburn cashed in with a 3-run homer. The 2-0. He sends it high in the air, medium depth center field. Coming in now, Rios, and Cabrera's out. Here's Bosch. Single in 4th bats for Bosch. It's 0-2. It has been Thornton puts Jenks and Santos out of the bullpen today for the Chicago White Sox. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Bosch goes down swinging.
Pretty much all soft stuff from Santos to Brennan Bosch. 3 straight changeups, and it's a hard changeup. About 86, 87 miles an hour to get the swing and miss.
Here's Peralta with 2 away. Johnny hit into a double play back in the 8th on a ball that was scalded to Alexi Ramirez. 1 for 4 for Peralta. And 2 for 16 in the series. Ground ball left side. Ramirez has this one. And that is that. The Tigers go 1, 2, 3 in the 10th. The 11th we go. Still tied at 4. long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
And Valverde staying out there for his second inning of work. He only needed 8 or 9 pitches to get through the top half of the 10th inning. And with the middle of their orders coming up, although it's not really the middle of their order, Jim Leland electing to leave his closer out there. Konerko is out, and so is Carlos Quentin. He's out as well.
So it'll be Rios to lead it off here in the 11th inning. Ball 1 to Alex Rios. Hitless in this game, 0 for 4. Tigers came into this game today 3-3 in extra innings. Chicago, they played 6 times, and they're 2-4. Here's the 1-0.
Whatever issues Valverde had on Friday night in Boston, which caused him to throw 60 pitches, he's not having those issues here today. He's thrown 12 pitches, 9 of which have hit the strike zone.
Rios fouls it away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And his fastball command today has been much better.
One and 2 on Rios. No on the appeal play. Nelson said he didn't go. 2-2 the count.
And throw that same pitch. And Rios might have a tough time of laying off the next one. He almost swung at that one.
Just missed. 3-2. Rios still alive. A 10-pitch 9th inning, or 10th inning, I should say. And Valverde thought he had strike 3 there. Borderline. Made quick work of the White Sox in the 10th. He has gone full here on the leadoff man, Rios, in the 11th.
You don't want to walk him. Make him put it in play.
Driven in the air to right field. Bosch to the gap to make the play. Rios is out, 1 gone.
Hey fans, this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, it's another installment of an intense American League rivalry between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. Coverage begins Saturday at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station.
So this normally would be Konerko's spot, but Brent Lillibridge is hitting here. He pinch ran for Konerko in the 9th inning. And so this will be his first at bat. 4 straight retired by Valverde. Swing and a miss. Lillibridge hitting .406. In his last 19 games, he is 11 for 26. There's a strike on the inside corner, 0-2 on Lillibridge. Just missed with a breaking ball. A little bit inside. It looked like Vanover wanted to go up with the right hand, but he just couldn't do it.
It's a nice splitter here by Valverde. Close, but Fox Track said shade inside.
1-2. On the ground, left side and through. Base hit, so Lillibridge continues to swing a hot bat. Go ahead, runners on now.
Well, you know they're going to be trying to get Lillibridge down in the scoring position. He has 2 steals this year. He's been caught once.
So Andrew Jones is going to step in his first at bat. He has homered against Valverde once in his career, 2 for 6. Jones with a tentative check swing, 0-1. That hit is the 11th of the game for the White Sox. The home run by Rayburn takes Scherzer off the hook, and it takes a win away from Freddie Garcia. 3-run shot at the bottom of the 9th by Rayburn tied this game. Runner goes, and is fouled back out of play.
Boy, he had a good jump too. But if you're Andrew Jones, you got to swing at it. You're already down in the count. No balls, 1 strike. Look at the jump by Lillibridge. No, Laird throws. Avila throws well, but he might have had a difficult time of throwing him out there. Knowing that Valverde likes to throw those split-fingered fastballs, I would not be shocked to see Lillibridge attempt another stolen base. But if you're Jim and you think he's running, you can pitch out. Valverde's got good control today. He's only missed the strike zone with 6 of his 22 pitches. And so you can afford to pitch out for a couple of pitches if you choose to do so, if you think Lillibridge is running.
Ground ball left side, base hit.
0-2.
Lillibridge gets to second base, and now the White Sox have something going here on back-to-back singles.
Papa Grande, he's upset with himself. No balls and 2 strikes, and he hung the split-fingered fastball.
So we'll get the bullpen working now. Rick Knapp makes the phone call down to the pen. He's going to bring up Mark Kotsay, who had what he thought was going to be a huge insurance home run in the top of the 9th inning, a 2-run shot, before the Tigers came back to tie it up.
Well, no Konerko, no Quinton, but Lillibridge and Andrew Jones, they still get on base.
First time the White Sox have had a man in scoring position since the 5th inning in this game. And they now have 12 hits on the board in a 4-4 game of the 11th. Kotsay this year only 161 with runners in scoring position. One and one on Kotsay.
If you're Avila and Valverde, your mentality has to be that you're still 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam. If you work at the bottom of the strike zone, maybe you can get that ground ball to get the double play to get you out of the inning. That's what your thought process ought to be, not necessarily a strikeout.
Make it 1 and 2 on Kotsay.
Kotsay must have thought that ball was high, but it was a good pitch.
Driven to the air to right field, hit well again. Bosch is on his horse, and he's not going to get it. It goes all the way to the wall. This might get 2 runs in. Lillibridge scores. Jones coming in. Here's the throw to third. It's not in time, and Kotze, in consecutive at-bats late in this game, comes up with clutch hits.
Jose Valverde, the last 2 batters, he had Jones, no balls, 2 strikes, and yielded a single to him. He had Kotze 1 and 2 and gives up a triple to him. Brendan Bosch playing real shallow in right field. I guess they wanted to have a play at the plate and not able to run this one down, nor was Austin Jackson.
Kotze with a homer in the 9th, and now a 2-run triple here in the 11th. And the Tigers bring the infield in with Ramirez up there. And a runner at third base and only 1 out. A 4 RBI day for Mark Kotze, 25 for the season.
That's why you go at bat, regardless of what you're doing, how well you're playing, whether you're seeing the baseball or not. As long as you have that bat in your hand, you can still do some damage, and Kotze has proven that here today.
Bosch lines this one up. Runner will tag and hold. Brennan's throw comes in right on the mark. And they hold Kotze at third base.
All it takes is 1 good plate appearance to help your team win a game. And Kotze has had 2 his last couple of times up.
So here's Castro. Tigers can push that defense back now. This will be the 30th pitch for Valverde. Swing and a miss. 13 hits for Chicago. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Castro had a double back in the 5th, scored a run. He hit that ball that Ryan Rayburn made a great play on. It was in the 9th inning. Now the 1-1. 1 and 2. Tigers in the bottom of the 11th will have the same trio that started the bottom of the 9th when they tied the game up. Inge, Kelly, Santiago. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball right back up the middle. Rayburn off balance throw is in time. Nicely done by Ryan Rayburn, saving another run. Big 2-run triple for Kotze. It'll be Inge, Kelly, and Avila coming up. Bank America Bank, strength and stability since 1849. Wallside Windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Well, the Tigers now down again to their final 3 outs. They'll need another comeback. They're down by 2, 6-4 as we head to the bottom of the 11th inning.
Well, really all they need to do is get one man on base. And with the way that wind's blowing out to left field, anything can happen. Santos is a hard thrower, but you got to get one guy on.
Brandon Inge will be leading it off here against Santos as we go to the bottom of the 11th inning. And don't forget, tomorrow, Red Wings will officially welcome Detroit area native Mike Modano to their organization. You can watch the press conference live on the web at foxsportsdetroit.com. Coverage of the Mike Modano press conference starts tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Fox Sports Detroit.
He went to high school here, didn't he?
Westland. There's a strike called on Brandon Inge. Inge, then Kelly, and then Avila in the 11th inning. Swing and miss. Inge now down to the count 0-2. Breaking ball, and he got him. Strike 3. Delayed call there by Vanover. Castro wanted to throw the ball around, and he finally got the strike call.
Castro knew it was a strike. I don't know how you could call it a ball. And Brandon kind of had an idea that was strike 3 himself.
Here's Don Kelly. Kelly got it roll into the 9th with a 1-out single. And Santiago was hit by a pitch, and with 2 outs, Rayburn homered. That's how the Tigers tied it up at 4. But Mark Kotsay has been clutch for them late in this game. A 2-run shot of the 9th, a 2-run triple in the 11th. One and one on Kelly. Just a little bit outside. 2-1. Kelly's home run in the 7th inning was his 2nd of the year. He's had 4 hits in this series. And the 2-1 pitch. 3-1. The 3-1 pitch. He's taking all the way, make it 3-2 on Kelly.
Nice job by Kelly. Could have very easily swung at that 3-1 fastball right down the middle, but really understanding that his run doesn't mean a thing.
And a bouncing ball back up the middle. Look at Alexi Ramirez. He's been all over the place today. 2 gone.
Pickett and Brennan all afternoon long.
So the Tigers' fortunes now resting with Alex Avila. His first at bat. Ball 1 to Avila. Jenks gave up a 3-run homer in the 9th. Santos came on to the 10th and got him 1-2-3, and now has retired the first 2 men here in the 11th. 5 in a row retired by the right-hander. 2-0.
2-1. Avila hits into the air deep to left. It is slicing though, and that will go foul.
Don't hurt that kid now, fella. Oh, he's not going to be able to keep that ball. He's not going to be able to keep that. They will boo him out of here.
2-2. And Avila strokes it to right field, a base hit. He keeps it going. Alex is on with a 2-out single. That's going to bring up Austin Jackson as the tying run. Jackson in this game has struck out a couple of times. He's walked once. Ball one inside. 13 hits today for the White Sox. The Tigers have 8. Ball 2. Santos retired the first 2 men of the inning. Then the single by Avila. Now he has fallen behind on Austin Jackson.
To Jackson, you got to take one shot at him. Look for that fastball inside. Get those hits cleared out of the way. See if you can get one up in that jet stream to left. One shot at him.
Ball 3. Ball 4, and now the tying runs are on. A single and a walk. And does Rayburn have another one in it?
That's what Rayburn did in the 9th. That's why we're still here. One thing about Santos, he's not accustomed to closing out games. He has pitched well in their bullpen and done a very nice job, and he's got real good numbers, but he's usually got about 3 or 4 guys behind him. Today he's got nobody behind him. Thornton, Putz, Jinx, they've all been used today. Those 20, well, actually it's extra innings, so whatever it is, the last out of the inning, last out of the game is always a difficult one to get.
Santos, in his first 7 seasons in the minor leagues, was a position player. Didn't start pitching until last year.
I mean, their outfield is deep. The run on second base means nothing. Jackson's run is the one that they're concerned about.
Rayburn had a rip, 0-1. (6-4). White Sox lead here in the 11th. And the wind is still howling out toward left field. And the 0-1 pitch. It is back. 0-2. Tigers down to their final strike. Rayburn trying to keep it going. Just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 1-2. Ground ball hit slowly towards second. Lilovich throws him out, and that is that. So the White Sox hang on and win this one. They get 2 in the 11th, and they take 3 out of 4.